All right, I got another good one for you guys. This is the Hobbymaster 148 scale P-40. And again, this is die-cast, just like all Hobbymaster models. And this one's really cool. I love World War II planes, and it's the P-40B version, HA9202 if you want to look it up. I'll also put a link in the video description below, somewhere you can purchase it. Standard Hobbymaster box, nothing special. If you open up the flap, you'll have a little information about the P-40, as well as they did a really good job putting it in the packaging. So if you want to display it like that, you can. All right, we're gonna open up the box now. Just has that little tab. Just slide it out. And be careful, because sometimes there's things in the bottom, like instructions, but there's not anything in this one. And here's what it looks in the packaging. You do have some pieces on the side here, like the landing gear, and here's a stand. And then it is usually taped, so we're gonna get that tape off. Now we just need to take the top piece off. And when you're doing this, be careful. Sometimes it'll pop these little pieces out and you get damage them. So I do like that Hobbymaster molds the plastic top cover to the aircraft itself. Just keeps it in good shape for shipping. And they even put this little pad underneath here for the nose. So we've got the pilot, the landing gear, the accessories I was telling you about, and the stand. And so to take the plane out, you do have these little tabs. Sometimes you can pinch them just a little bit, or you can get lucky and just pop it out like that, like I did. And this is a really good looking model. All right, so I went ahead and put it on my BASECRAFT diorama set. I'll put a link in the video description if y'all are interested. I just think they look really good. But here's the pilot, and it's 148 scale, so it's gonna be a little bigger than the typical 172 Hobbymaster. Again, it looks pretty good. I just don't understand the no eyes. Let me zoom in here. I just wish they would have had eyes. I just think it looks almost like a dog in a way, kind of freaky, but I guess you're not gonna see it when it's in the plane that well. So you could weather it up, which I might do to make it look a little better. Next, we're gonna go ahead and open up the package here. And this is an accessories pack. Comes with landing gear in the up position. So if you don't want to display your landing gear in the down, you can just put these little pieces on here. Comes with, and see, you could tell, so the wheel's flat because it's going to be flush up against the fuselage, or the wing actually, like that. Same thing the other side. And then you have these two little pieces if you want to cover up the rear landing gear, as well as I think this is where the stand will go. So the P-40B actually had self-sealing fuel tanks and two 7.7 millimeter machine guns. But unfortunately, it added weight and decreased the performance of the aircraft. In fact, the next model, the C version, was even worse. But Hobbymaster does a pretty good job of getting the details right. And here's the engine. You can also see the propeller spins really well. Better than most models, honestly. And then you have two more machine guns right there on top. And then I'll show you underneath as well. Just gonna put my finger in the canopy so it doesn't fall off. But you have US Army, and then there's even small details. Let me see if I can zoom in here. It says sway brace attach, and then jack here. So I guess that's where the jack stands would go. And then right here on the guns, gun service. This is probably where the ammo belt went. Now I'm going to show you the cockpit and the canopy. And I'm not sure what this red and blue dot are. They look like lights. I don't know if they're formation lights or not. But if you know, put a message in the comment below. I'd love to find out as many details as I can about these aircraft. And so the canopy itself just slides back like this and comes off completely. I kind of wish it had a lock because it slides really easy and it can fall off if you turn it upside down. But there's that. And then I'll show you the cockpit here in a second. We'll start with the headrest there and the seat. Not a lot of details on the seat, but they did paint the headrest pretty good. And then here's the inside with all the gauges. At least they are painted white or etched in white. There's not any color, but at least that's there. You can see the stick, the rudder pedals. There's no throttle or anything on the side, which I kind of wish they had, especially for being 148. You can see a lot of the detail when you open up the canopy, but that's that. You can see the gun sight, or where it would be right there. Next, we'll put the pilot in. The no-face pilot. See how he fits. Actually fits pretty good. Looks like it's pretty accurate to scale. And then we'll go ahead and slide the canopy back on. And I like that the canopy lines up pretty flush. So you can actually display it like this with the canopy open, or slide it, because it has a little bit of a stopper there, but not much. So I'll show you what it looks like from the gun sight perspective. There you go, lines up pretty good. So next I'll show you the landing gear. I'll show you what it looks like with landing gear up and down, but first we'll start with landing gear down. And you can see it's got a little tab on the back right there that lines up with that slot. Just make sure when you push it on, this door doesn't fall off, because for some reason that door is a little wobbly. So we'll do the same thing for the other side. And it fits pretty good. For the rear tail wheel, pretty much the same thing. It's got a big tab. You just push it down. The tail wheel in the rear doesn't spin, and neither do the front. Some of the Hobbymaster models actually do spin, but these don't. So this is what it looks like. I'll show you from the front. See, that's what I was talking about with the Canopy. So this is what it looks like with the landing gear down. I like it. Now I'll show you what it looks like with the gear up. To remove the wheels, you just wiggle them, they'll come out. If you don't feel like they fit good enough, you can take some ticky tack or sticky tack and put it in there. I use the black sticky tack. It actually is stronger and works good. Or some people say to use the white Elmer's glue, and it holds it in place apparently, and also allows you to remove it pretty easy in case you want to change the display. Haven't tried it, so I can't say I personally recommend it, but a lot of people say it works good. So then to put the landing gear in the up position, just gonna line it up and push it down. And this is what it looks like on the back. There's just these little posts that line up. It doesn't seem to be holding as good as the landing gear in the down position. So I'm gonna probably have to push it a little more off camera, but that's how you do that. And then this last little piece here goes in the back for the tail wheel. You just push that on. For some reason, those are not holding on as well, so I'll probably have to put the ticky tack or the glue. So here's what it looks like with the landing gear in the up position. I usually like to display my models with the landing gear in the up position on the stand, unless the wheels look really good, which these wheels look pretty basic, so I'll probably end up displaying it flying. Or if I don't have room on my shelf, because I have so many models, I may put it on the wheels down, or put the wheels down so I can actually set it down so I have enough room for another plane up here. So here's the stand or the display base. I believe this one is all plastic. Some of the models come with like a metal neck, but yeah, this is definitely a plastic neck, which should be fine for this model. It's heavy, but it's not too heavy. So there's that, and then this is what's gonna actually mount underneath the plane. So Hobbymaster also included this little tool, and it's usually with a base. If you don't know what it is, I'll show you. It's like a hook, and what you do is if you put the landing gear in the up position and you can't seem to get it out, that's why they have this little slot there. So you can stick this tool in and kind of pry it off. Just be careful because it does go flying. So to set up the stand, you just take the neck and the base, line them up. You have a little cutout here, which lines up with that part there. You just kind of push it in, sometimes push it down and back. And that's actually a pretty good fit. Some of them don't fit as tight as that, especially if you have a metal neck and a plastic base. And then for the top section, you're just gonna find that little slot right there and line it up with this tab, which sticks out. And that's how you know front and back. You just push them together like that. So with this model, you can actually install the stand with the gear up or down, which I personally like better. Some of the models you can't. And you'll take this post here, stick it in right there. But first, I'll show you real quick what this other little piece is for that came with it. And that's if you wanted to display it with the gear down and you didn't want this little hole, you could pop this in right there, and that way it covers up that slot. So to install it, you just push it in like this. It may take a little more wiggling because it's actually plastic going into metal, but that's what it looks like. Looks pretty good. Which I'll also show you what it looks like with the stand and the landing gear in the down position, like it's coming in for a landing. I think it looks pretty good. All right, and thanks for watching. If you wouldn't mind, please go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and check out all the other videos I have. I have a lot of other reviews of pre-built models, including tanks, airplanes, things like that, all the way up to 1/18 scale. I actually even have a 1/18 scale review of a P-40 by 21st Century Toys, which is huge. So go ahead and check that out if you haven't, and I appreciate it. Thanks for watching.